Good morning, students. Let's start our SP class. Okay. So we were in the topic documents related to formation of the company. Which are the three main documents? Yes, what we discussed yesterday. The three main documents are Memorandum of Association, Article of Association, and Prospectus. These are the three main documents which are required to be submitted along with the application with the register of the company. Okay, these are the important documents. And then we started with the first important document, that is Memorandum of Association. Okay, we started with Memorandum of Association. We did the definition of Memorandum of Association, and then we did the features of Memorandum of Association. So today, now we are going to continue with the clauses of Memorandum of Association. Clauses of Memorandum of Association, and the further we would be doing the provisions to alter it. What are the provisions? As such, the definition says that the alteration in Memorandum of Association in any clause related to any clause, alteration is not simple. It has to follow some procedures, some provisions which are given under the rules, under the act, and according to that provisions only the alteration can be done in any clause of Memorandum of Association. Okay, so let us discuss first which are the clauses. So yesterday I told you there are 6 clauses. Which are they? Name clause, address clause, okay, then object clause, liability clause, then capital clause, okay, and last is subscription clause. These are the 6 clauses which are included in Memorandum of Association. So let us start with the first clause, that is name clause. Okay, so what this clause mention? This name clause mentions the name of, it is distinct from its member. So, what happens? It should have its own identity name. Okay, its name. The company have its own identity name, and this name is included or it's mentioned in the name. This the name for the company has to the promoter only. The promoter chooses a name of a company. Okay, so following then there are some points which has to be kept in the mind while choosing the name of the company. Let us discuss that. Let us read out first that. First, I will read the name clause. This clause mentions the name of the company. As a company is a legal entity distinct from its member, it has its own name to establish its separate identity. The promoter chooses name for the company. The promoter chooses the name of the company. Following points should be kept in the mind while choosing the name of the company. Some are the points which a promoter has to keep in the mind. See, initially what we can say that no two company can have a similar name. Similar name. Okay, no two company can have similar kind of name. Let us read all the points and then I will explain what are the points. Okay, the name should be identical. Identical means what? एक unique असलं पाहिजे. Identical. Okay, and or resemble should not be identical. Sorry, should not be identical means कोणाच्या matching नसलं पाहिजे. It should not be similar to some other company name. It should be unique or resemble the name of an already existing company registered under this act or any previous company law. So it should be unique. It should not be similar to the other company which is already existing company which is registered under the Companies Act or any previous company law. It should not the means in short we can say that the name of the company should be unique. It should not be similar to that of any company, the already existing company, which is registered under the Companies Act 2013 or any previous company law. Okay. Then this is means it should have its unique name. So first we can call it as first condition. It should be. It should not be identical. Not be identical. Okay, it should not be identical. Then the name should not contain any word which will constitute an offense under any law. Means it should not contain any word. Okay, which would be offensive. Means legally ज्याचा वापर करणं चुकीचं म्हटलं जातं. ऑफेन्सिव्ह मीन्स ज्याचं लिगली ज्या शब्दाचा वापर करणं चुकीचं वापरलं म्हटलं जातं. ओके, बाय अंडर एनी लॉ. सो दॅट वर्ड शुड नॉट बी the one of the part of the name of the company. Okay, so the name should not contain any word which will constitute an offense. म्हणजे जो लिगली त्याला परवानगी नाही आहे त्याचा वापर करणं एक प्रकारचा गुन्हा जेव्हा म्हटला जाईल, when the use of that word is kind of offense under any law, then such kind of word should not be included in the name of the company. Then so offensive word should not be there. No use of offensive word. Offensive words should not be used. Then the name or word in the name shall not offend any section of the people. Means any section of the people. There are many sections like Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians. Okay, so the words, any word or the name should not contain or the name should not be offend कोणत्याही कास्टला इन्सल्ट करण्याचा किंवा कोणत्याही सेक्शनला इन्सल्ट करण्याचा, से पुअर सेक्शन और रिच सेक्शन असा इन्सल्ट करणारा जो वर्ड असतो, ओके, तसा वर्ड वापरला नाही पाहिजे. ओके, इफ द वर्ड इज इन्सल्टिंग एनी सेक्शन ऑफ पीपल like any caste or any section, poor, rich, middle class, like that, if it is offending any section of the people, then such kind of word, the use of such kind of words is not allowed. Okay, the name or the word in the name should not offend any सेक्शन ऑफ द पीपल, म्हणजे त्यांचा इन्सल्ट करणारा किंवा त्यांच्या विरोधात जाणारा, ओके, एनी सेक्शनच्या विरोधात जाणारा वर्ड यूज करण्याची परवानगी नाही. इट शुड नॉट यूज एनी वर्ड विच आर ऑफेंडिंग टू एनी सेक्शन. सो नॉट टू यूज ऑफेंड word for any section of people. Okay, any section of people. Then what is given next? The name shall not violate the provisions of emblems and names, prevents of improper use of Act 1950. मीन्स एम्ब्लेमला इन्सल्ट करणारं किंवा आपल्या कंट्रीला इन्सल्ट करणारं किंवा एखाद्या लीगल स्टॅच्युटरी डिपार्टमेंटला इन्सल्टिंग करणारा जर नेम असेल, इट शुड नॉट यूज दॅट नेम ऑल्सो. ओके, because it should not violate any provisions of emblem and names. जे काही नेम्स आणि एम्ब्लेम्स वापरण्यासाठीचे जे प्रोव्हिजन्स बनवलेले आहेत म्हणजे त्यांचा इन्सल्टिंग किंवा त्या वर्डचा वापर करून एखाद्या सेक्शनला अट्रॅक्ट करण्यात असेल म्हणजे से फॉर एक्झाम्पल इंडियाज बेस्ट और इंडियाज लाईक दॅट म्हणजे इंडियाचा रिसेंबल करणारा दो इट इज नॉट अ company which is belonging to India, but if it is using the word which says that it is a company governed by a Indian government, then it is an offensive. So the provisions, it should not violate the provisions of emblem and names. Okay. Then the name shall not resemble any registered trademark. The trademark जे resemble आहेत, okay, already some company जे already existing companies get their trademarks, okay, which are registered with the registrar of the company. So the name also should not resemble any registered trademark. Trademarks सारखं पण similar, it should not be like similar to any registered trademark. Okay. So what is the next? Not to be similar to registered trademark. The name should also not resemble any registered trademark. Then what is next? The name should not have any word which gives an impression that the company is connected with or has the support of central or state or any local authorities. The name, again the name, if it is a private limited company or a public limited company, which is not supported by the state or central government, then it should not use any word or any name which would resemble that there is a support of the state or central government to that company. Okay. Or any local authority. The name should not contain such like if we say Pune Limited, okay, Pune Industry or Pune Bakery. When the word is used as Pune, Pune, okay, so that would resemble the local authority. Okay, that would resemble that it is a of local authority. Pune. Okay, Pune is a local authority. So it would feel that this is the company of Pune. So instead of using Pune, okay, the name can be like this. Pune. Okay, so this would not resemble. Okay, it is not similar to that. The word should not give the impression that the company is connected with or has any support of central, state, or any local authority. Okay, like that. Then, in case of public limited company, by share or guarantee, it has to the last word of the name should be limited. That is like example Tata Steel Limited. If it is a public company, for public company, the word LTD is used, and for private company, the word PVT LTD is used. Okay. Similarly, for a private company limited by shares or guarantee, the last word of the name should be private limited. For example, POSCO India Private Limited. In case of one person company, the word one person company must be mentioned in the name of the company in the bracket. For example, after this PVT, if it is a one person company, then the word PVT LTD. It is private, but it is one person company. Like this, it should be mentioned in the bracket. Here it is given Smart Service Private Limited into bracket OPC. The Companies Act states that every company shall paint or affix its name and the address of its registered office outside its place of business. म्हणजे जे काय बिझनेस असेल जिथं बिझनेसचं मेन ऑफिस आहे wherever is the head office of the business, at that head office the name and address of the registered name and the office should be placed or affixed before the place of the business. So this is the name clause. Let us take a quick review again. First, see, I will not go according to these statements what are given. First, I will tell you what are the conditions. First condition says that no two companies can use similar name. Say for example, if a person wants to start, it is erase this all. Say, for example, if a person want to start a company called Meena, okay, Meena and Sons Limited, okay. So, if a person has registered this name, okay, this is already registered name in with the register of the company, and the some other person also new promoter he also wants to start with this name, then this is not allowed. Okay, either he can use instead of mi name he can use Meena and Sons. Okay, this is it's allowed. Means first is what mi Meena Sons, but he cannot use the same word or same like that. Meena and Associates. We can use Meena Associates. Okay. But the person cannot use this name again because this would be the similar name. One more what I can give you is about Skybags. Okay, Skybags. This is the original brand. The similar name companies are there, similar name. But what is the difference? Difference is in their spelling. Some are using SKAY, Skybags. Okay, some are using SKEY. Okay, some are using SKAE. So all these are the different spellings, but no one company can use this spelling. Okay, so it should be unique. It should not be identical to any other registered company. The name should be unique. Then which is it should not contain any word which will constitute an offense under any law. Means if it is under any law, the use of that word is prohibited. Okay. So for example, if the government says that the words which would resemble any caste or which would be like resembling to any caste, okay, that type of words are not allowed. Okay, because what it will give rise to the means there it would create problems between the different caste of the religions. Like if a name which would resemble like a particular which would for a particular religion, then the use of such name is prohibited. Okay, so they cannot use such name which are offense under any law. Then if the company is using the name which would say that it is supported by any central state or local authority, then such type of names are also not like if suppose if they use Any word, say Maharashtra company or central company, okay, or if the word is say Pune Associates, okay, Pune Associates, then it would resemble like a some local authority or some state authorities. It is like a company which is of some state or central government, even though if it is not a central or state government supported company, but if it is using the names which would resemble the name or which would show that, gives an impression to its investor that it is a company which is supported by central state or local authority, then such type of name should not be used. Okay, then it should not use any word which would offend, which would insult, or which would against of any section of people. Any say like poor section, rich section, like that. It should not use any word or any name which would offend any section of people. Then it should not use any word which would resemble the registered trademark. Okay, there are various trademarks which are registered with the registrar of the company, and the name should not be such that which would resemble like that trademark. Okay, that should be avoided. And if it is a public limited company, then it should use the word limited at the end of its name. If it is a private limited company, then it should use the word private limited at the end of the name. And if it is one person company, then it should use in the bracket it should mention OPC, that it is one person company after at the end of its name. Okay, that is the thing. And what the company acts as, that the name of the company and the address of the company should be written or should be painted or affixed on the registered office or at the place of its business. Okay, that is the name clause. And how, now let us discuss how can be this name be altered. Many people go for alteration or some different kind, some different reason. So how this name can be altered, how the alteration of name can be done. A company may change its name anytime on its own, or B, on its conversion from public to private, or vice versa, when it is getting converted from limited to private company, limited company, or from public to private, like the word like LTD and PVT. When a public private limited company whose at the end of that name PVT LTD is written, then if it gets converted into public limited company, then it can remove the word PVT. So here it is changing its name. So this conversion is possible when the company go from public to private or from private to public. Okay. On the direction of central government, if central government directs that you have to change its name because it is resembling to, as it is supported by it is offensive or it is supported by some central state or local authority, then government gives the direction. If it is of the opinion that their name is similar to the name of an already existing, means if it is an already existing name, then the government only gives the direction, or it is a registered trademark. If it is a registered trademark, then also the government directs to change its name. The name clause can be altered by passing a special resolution in general meeting of a company. The alteration is possible only after passing resolutions, special resolutions. There are when the annual general meeting of all the companies are held at the end of the year. The all the members of the company, they come together. The directors of the company, they come together, and then by putting forward the agenda or motion that they want to change the name of the company, and by putting that resolution or that agenda, and once voting is done for that change, and if the votings come in favor of changing the name, then a special resolution is passed, and after that only the company can change its name, otherwise it cannot change its name. So some special resolution is required to change the name of the company. Okay, so that is the name clause. But generally, the in short, we can call that say that name clause is a clause in which the name of the company is mentioned, and what are the points to be considered, that it should be unique, it should not be offensive to any legal law, under any law. It should not offend any section of the society. It should not give the impression that it is under the support of central, state, or any local authority. It should not be similar to the registered trademark. And what else? That it should end the word limited if it is a public limited company, and word private limited if it is a private limited company at the end of its name. So that are the points which a promoter has to take into consider, okay, should kept in mind while choosing the name of the company. So that is the name clause. And how it can be altered of it by its own, it can alter by its own, or when it get converted from public to private or from private to public, then also it can convert its name, change its name. Or if government gives a direction that it is like, it is resembling like already existing, it is similar to like already existing company, or it is resembling like the already registered trademark, then the company would direct to change the government would direct the company to change its name. Okay, then they have to change their name, and this, for changing this name, a special resolution has to be passed in the annual general meeting, and then only the changes or the name can be changed of a company. So that is a name clause. The second is address clause. What is the second one? Is address clause. You can now guess what is address clause would be about. It is the clause which states the address, the state, means the address of the company, in which state it is located, with the register of the company. Okay. This the clause states the name of the state in which the registered office of the company will be located. Each company must have its registered office within 30 days of its incorporation. Once 30 within 30 days, once it get registered, so it's incorporation certificate, then after with that within 30 days it has to get registered its head office or office name, office address registered with the register of the company. Okay, and what it state, what is mentioned in this address clause, the state in which the registered office of the company will be located, in which state the company belongs to, or what is the address of the company. Okay, like that. It is the address clause. A registered office is a must as, means registered office का कर्ज है. Why it is must? Because as it establishes the domicile of the company, the location of the company. We can easily find out the location where, see, sometimes some fake companies come into existence, or some fraud companies comes into existence, and they cheat public, or they make fraud with the public. Okay, so to avoid this, they cheat the people, they does the fraud, and they get vanished. Okay, गायब होऊन जातात म्हणतो ना आपण, गायब होऊन जातात. So the hard earned money of the people is गेटिंग वेस्ट, त्यांना चीट केलं जातं. ओके, त्यांचं हार्ड अर्न मनी जे इन्व्हेस्ट करतात ते काय होतं, त्यांना चीट केलं झाल्यामुळे त्यांचं जे हार्ड अर्न मनी आहे ते जातात, निघून जातात. टू चीट फंड्स, लाईक चीट फंड कंपनीज असतात ते company, they makes fraud with the public. Like they first they open a business office at some place. They would attract people and the amount whatever is their target, they then get vanished off. त्यांचा ऑफिस vanish होऊन जातं. So this kind of cheating or this kind of frauds are prevailing in the market. So to avoid that, the company should has its registered office. जर काय फ्रॉड झालं असेल किंवा काय cheating झाली असेल, then the cheated person can sue the company for its name, and the notice goes on to the address of the registered company's registered office. Okay, so for that the location can be find out. It establishes the domicile or location of a company. Then it is the address to which all the communication, notice, etc. will be sent. All the communication, letters, business transaction, contracts, or government notice can be sent on that registered office. Okay. It is also the place where any statutory book, record, or document of the company will be kept. Generally, all the important documents, all the legal documents of the company are kept in some office. Okay, त्याला कुठेही कोणाच्या घरी ठेवता नाही येत. Why? Because the company is a separate legal entity. So if any of its member is keeping the documents of the company in his some private place, then it is offensive. ओके, असं करता येत नाही. सो फॉर दॅट, बिकॉज सी गव्हर्मेंट कॅन आस्क फॉर एनी डॉक्युमेंट्स एनी टाईम, कधीही कोणत्याही प्रकारचं चेकिंग करू शकतात. गव्हर्मेंट कॅन चेक एनी डॉक्युमेंट्स. फॉर इफ देर इज अ income tax rate, then what, the government would come to that office and would ask for the documents, and if at that time the documents are not available, then it is like offensive. Then it is considered that there is some fraud, the company is making some fraud, and it is just done deliberately. So to avoid all these things, all the important documents, legal documents, and other books of the company should be kept with this registered office address, at the registered office address. The address clause also indicate the jurisdiction of the court where the case can be filed by the company against any other. म्हणजे कोणत्या ज्युरिस्टिक्शनच्या, म्हणजे कोणत्या एरियामध्ये, कोणत्या कोर्टामध्ये, कोणत्या एरियाच्या कोर्टामध्ये तुम्ही केस फाईल करू शकता. यू कॅन फाईल द केस अगेन्स्ट एनी other person or any other. Say for example, if a company is under the jurisdiction of Pune, then it has to file the case against any other person, or any other person would file case against the company in under Pune court. Okay, if it is in the, it cannot file a case in Hyderabad, because this is not this would not be correct. Okay, जिथं कंपनीचं लोकेशन आहे, where is the company, the place where the company is located, only under that jurisdiction only the case can be filed by the company or against the company. Okay, so it indicates the jurisdiction of the court where the cases can be filed by company against others. So Pratik, see for example, if I am the resident of India, so me being a resident of India, if I am getting cheated by any person, so I will case a file in Indian court only. I would not go to some foreign countries to case a file. Okay. So in the same way, the location of wherever the company is located under that jurisdiction court only the company can file case against any other person or any other company. जिथून जे बिलॉंग करतं तिथूनच ते कोर्ट केस फाईल करू शकतं. It cannot file the court case in some other place. Okay. So that is why address clause should be registered with the register of the company. And how the address clause can be altered? A company may change its register office from one place to another place with the same city or town. Okay, same city and town असेल, okay, or town. In this case, no alteration is made in memorandum. If it is changing its place in same city or same town, then alteration करणं गरजेचं नाही. There is no alteration is required. It's to be made in memorandum. One town or city to another town or city within the same state मध्ये असेल, okay, then one state to another, the city आणि state change होत असेल, then it has to make changes by passing some resolution, special resolution, and it should be altered in memorandum of association. In both the cases B and C, a special resolution is to be passed in general meeting to alter the address clause. In case of C, above, approval of regional director is required. For C means for changing the state, another state. For that, regional director's approval is required. See what is address clause? How can we get altered? First, if it is changing the change is address changing within same city or town, then alteration in memorandum is not required. But if it is changing its town to some another town or city, then under special resolution in general meeting only the address by passing special resolution in general meeting, then only the address can be changed. And if it is changing its state from one state to another, then again it would require some special resolution in general meeting, and along with that it should also be required to get the approval of regional director for changing the address. Okay, so this was address clause. I hope you might have understood what both the two clauses, and we will not go ahead because it would let it go slowly. थोड़ा slowly जाऊया. Let you get understand. थोड़ा समजून घ्या काय लिहिलेले. Read whatever I had given, what I have taught today. Okay, again we will revise. First tomorrow we are going to revise. But before that, you have to read whatever is taught today. आज जे काय मी शिकवलेलं आहे एकदा read करा. Once you read, then only you would understand or you would get some doubts. Okay, if at all you have any doubts, we would be clearing it tomorrow. Okay, आपण ते clear करून घेऊया in the way when we are doing the revisions. Okay, ज्यावेळेस आपण रिवाइज करत असो त्यावेळेस तुमचे डाऊट क्लिअर होतील. But for that also you would require to read the thing, read the portion which I have taught today. So this is your homework, like you can call it as homework to read whatever I had taught. These clauses are very much important. So for that, reading is important. You have to read, and after reading only you would understand that whatever clauses, what are the clauses, and if you have any doubts, then it would be getting clear in the next lecture. Okay, for today, this much only. Thank you.